guys can see me, and I hope this is working out because for the first time I'm actually putting our live broadcast on our private happy hour page. And the reason why I did that is because I've had a few people tell me that they have looked for us at 6 o'clock and they couldn't see us. And I think it's because maybe there are so many people on the regular Facebook that aren't part of the group that maybe it's just sort of getting bogged down with their analytics. I don't even know what their ways of doing things are. But anyhow, we're trying something new today, so let us know how it works out. And Bob's here, of course, and I'm getting ready to send him back into the house because I did forget something really important.
Okay.
So listen carefully, Bobby.
What do we got?
I want you to go into the living room. I want you to look over where I normally sit, right? And I want you to pick up that red bag that John Patrick gave us last night because I want to talk about what we did last night. Okay? Thank you. So, what we did last night, which is what I want to talk about, is we went to a book fair. But it was a really unusual book fair because it was a book fair for all local, newly published artists. So people, and most of the people really had self-published their books. But it was just such a nice thing. There were probably, 20 people? They had tables and they had their books. And all of them are, of course, your first book or your second book, very passionate, talking to you about the book. And then, they would, you could buy the book from the people, the authors, and they would autograph or sign those books. So it was just a really fun night, I think. It was at the Oxford Exchange, which is over directly across the street from the University of Tampa. A beautiful area, beautiful store. I mean, it was like a coffee shop, and they also had a little champagne going on for the actual book fair. But anyhow, I just wanted to give a shout out to my friend who invited me to this because he is one of the authors that was at the book fair, and his name is John Patrick Nelson, actually Dr. John Patrick Nelson. And he wrote 2 books. Now this one is called Running for Planet Earth, and it is a book that's for younger people, but it's also, I think, something very readable. I haven't started it yet, but I'm excited to read this, and I bought it and I'm going to give it to my grandson. And then he has another one, Enlightened by a Darker Tone. And it's another, I guess it's a fiction book. It's a black detective going through the voyages as he encounters triumphs and tragedies of his life. So, John Patrick, thank you so much for inviting me, and I hope everyone loves your books. I'm going to sit down with it as soon as I get a minute because we just got them yesterday. And there were a few other people that we bought books from. The other one that I kind of really am excited to see is this one about dogs. And it's called Dog Girl. So I thought she wrote that just for me. I'm going to go ahead and put this away, but I know you guys like to know what we've been up to over here. And basically, we've been in sunny Florida, enjoying our life, right, Bobby?
Absolutely.
Yep, and that's about it. So not much going on. But we did do something, go to the book fair. So today we've got a challenge in front of us because we're going to make a Gin Fizz. And it is a drink that I found very interesting, but yet very challenging because you have to make the fizz. And Bob will be talking to you about that fizz here in a minute. But before we get that going, I do want to talk a little bit about the history of the Gin Fizz, which is one of those classic drinks, really became very popular in the 1920s during the time of the Hemingway and all the various writers. F. Scott Fitzgerald in particular mentions the Gin Fizz. He mentions that he and his wife, Ernestine, were drinking Gin Fizzes, and then somehow they accidentally mistaken the bidet for the bathtub, whereupon they bathed their 3-year-old daughter. And they also mentioned that she possibly had a lemonade. But then they're thinking, we don't have lemonade. All we have is Gin Fizz. So anyway, that's just a little gossip about the Fitzgeralds. And, what can you say? I mean, don't drink and drive. And they didn't do that. Or bathe your daughter. Okay, so we're going to get started with this great little drink. It's really a simple drink as far as the ingredients are concerned. All we're going to use is some lemon, and this is actually very yellow, and it's because it's one of the Myers lemon, some of the Meyer lemon juice that was sent to us from Palm Springs, so it's a little bit brighter, which I like that. It's going to make the drink look beautiful. We're going to be using our Tanqueray gin, and Bob over here, he kind of told me he didn't want to touch Tanqueray. You know?
At least it hurt me.
He said it will hurt you. I mean, he had an experience, literally, this is the truth. He had an experience, an outing with Tanqueray. I don't even know where he went with Tanqueray, but when you and Tanqueray went out,
Well, we were together with a brown bag.
together with a brown bag. So anyway, long story short, this was like literally 1977. Now you have to do the math.
You're that old? Oh.
No, you're that old. And so, 1977, and he swears he hasn't put a drop of gin in his mouth since. Tanqueray must have hurt you bad. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, go ahead to get started. You're going to use the lemon juice, the gin, and then we're going to use some egg whites to make the froth. And there's a little bit of controversy about the sweetening agent. In one recipe, it said you could use maple syrup. That will give it a much browner look. Another said a teaspoon of sugar. Confectionery sugar is what I have here, what we're going to use. Or you could use simple syrup. All right, so you're going to start off with 2
Ounces of gin.
2 ounces of gin per drink. So that means that he's going to be putting, are you going to make 2 at once?
I will.
All right, so he's going to be putting 4 ounces of gin into the shaker. So he's making both drinks at once.
Okay.
And then what else?
We're going to go with the lemon juice.
And then the lemon juice. And the lemon juice is going to be 1 part lemon juice to 2 parts of the alcohol. So he's only going to be putting in 2
ounces
shots
left.
or 2 ounces of
There we go.
lemon juice. So that's in.
All right.
And then are we adding anything else?
Well, yes, we're going to go with the simple syrup, which is now.
Maple syrup. So
There
the
you go.
simple syrup, which is now maple syrup. And we are just going to be kind of using 1 teaspoon each per drink. So that's going to be what's going to happen with the maple syrup. And I like the idea of the maple syrup because I'm hoping that it kind of gives it a nice deeper color, you know, which is what I like in this particular drink. So we'll see how that works out. And then next,
We're going to actually do the wet shake first here before we go with our egg white.
okay,
So the way
wet
I'm gonna
shake first.
The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to go ahead and put a couple of pieces of ice in there.
Okay.
Now the problem with this, or the secret, sorry,
It's pounding it.
is to get a really good seal on that when you start to shake it.
Okay.
Okay, we got that. So what I'm going to do, after I get this lock out of there, is I'm going to strain the ice out of there.
Oh, Bobby, I just remembered. Did you bring the garnish?
No,
Did you slice the garnish?
I did not slice it.
Oh my God, he forgot the garnish. He didn't slice the garnish.
No garnish.
What are we gonna do?
Okay, so now I'm just going to get rid of that couple of pieces of ice in there.
All right.
Let's pour 'em
put
right
that
there. Now to this, we're going to add our egg white. This
here's
is
the egg
the
We're
secret
gonna
right
use
here.
The secret of the egg white. Now the egg white makes the foam. That's why it's called a Gin Fizz. And so you have to be kind of careful with the egg white. You don't want to have too much or too
No.
little. And we are not using actual egg white from an egg white. We're using the mix you get in the store. So it's kind of hard to judge how much you really have. So here he goes with the second shake. You're doing good. But you know what, Bob? How come
Look at that.
when those guys in the restaurants, they shake and they go like up here and they shake off cool?
It's
Can
all-
you do that?
That's a show.
Yeah, let's see.
Just- Do this. Make sure we get this measured out. I don't know if we've got enough for 2 drinks, but That's all
Well,
right.
no. Remember, we've got the club soda.
That's right. That's the
the
secret
club
that
soda.
people always forget. A little bit of club soda.
Yes, a little bit. Well,
Oops.
on the table.
That really fizzes it up a bit.
Yeah. And this actually is not club soda. You might notice we're using a sparkling water, but it's going to be, just the same. It's going to be just the same.
Perfect.
And there you have it. Let's go ahead and hold it up so we can see the Gin Fizz, and you see the fizz, and you see, well, you can't see the gin, but you can see the fizz.
Right.
So we're about ready to taste it, but before we taste it, I want to do a toast. And, thank you all for watching. And if you're new watching us, please, like and subscribe and come back to our channel. Next week, we upload once a week when we do our happy hours on Friday, and then we upload probably Sunday or Monday. So you can have the bell notification, and that'll let you know. But in any case, here is to all good living and all good things. Happiness, healthiness, wellness. Cheers.
Cheers.
That's pretty good.
It is
But
pretty
I
good.
want some ice in mine. It's not
Okay,
cold.
we can do that. We can do that.
All right.
We should have put that in first. You're
I
right
told
about
you that.
that.
Much better the fizz came out when it got ice.
Yep.
The ice does better with the fizz. Just remember that. So,
That's true.
or the fizz does better with the ice, I should say.
Yes.
And cheers again. Much better.
I think much better.
It really is much better.
Yeah.